Welcome back to Podcast Pending. I'm your host, Crash, with Rory
Yo.
and Troy. And for some reason, we're a little quiet today. I gotta figure out what's going on. Is it my
What's
headphones?
wrong?
Oh, it is my headphones. Look at that.
Oh.
A little bit more.
Oh, wonder
hang
a little
on,
more.
hang on.
There we go.
You're so loud.
Just a little bit.
Ah, there we go.
This is the
Look
sound
what you did.
of my voice.
You knocked over.
Hello.
What's that?
So today, we will be talking about, to start off, Captain Marvel. We're not going to spend the whole show on it. Just probably about 20 minutes. So if you don't want any spoilers, feel free to check back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We went to see the movie because we know there are a lot of people who are against it because of certain words by certain actresses. And I thought it'd be pertinent just to have something to talk about on the show. So I want to talk about it from somebody who knows nothing about the perspective of no
And
comic books.
I will be talking about it because I actually like the recent character of Carol Danvers as it sits in the comics. So I have a little bit of favoritism to it.
Partiality.
Yeah, a little bit, but I have things to say about it.
By your salty comments combined, I am Captain Marvel. And you, what is your take on it?
I don't know. I'm kind of. I went into it not really knowing anything about Captain Marvel or anything. Like I'm not big on the DC universe or on the Marvel universe. I almost said DC.
God, don't
Yeah.
even.
No, we were talking about the other day. We were talking about Captain Marvel, and then they started talking about the DC universe. So like now I'm like combining the two. It's bad.
Actually, pretty soon that could probably happen.
It might. Yeah, it might anyway.
Some weird
But
crossover.
I'm not super into the Marvel or DC universe, honestly. So like for
Yeah.
me, it was just I kind of went into it with a blank slate. I don't know.
Well, that's good because now we have 3 different viewpoints of going in and coming out. So this is good.
Like watching all the Marvel movies. Like I never knew anything like really anything about Doctor Strange or like I knew like who Iron Man was. I didn't really know a whole lot about his character either though.
These are characters we just didn't know. So yeah, it feels like. So I don't know. I'm still kind of gathering my thoughts because I'm not sure because I thought the movie opened well. I thought it opened well. I thought it was going to be okay. Like, she hit that opening note fine.
Yeah.
A lot of people were predicting it's not going to be that good. So the movie opens up with a nightmare, pretty much.
Well, no. First, she was going on. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes.
Yeah, she woke up on a nightmare, and then all of a
yeah.
sudden she's going to fight with a guy. I'm like,
Training.
yeah, well, it's very silly the way that came up. So I knew it. So you want to fight?
The problem with the beginning for me was like the first 20 minutes. There were certain parts where it wasn't really. They didn't tell you what was going on.
You had no clue.
Yeah, so it's like you had to you had to wait like a minute before you finally figured out. Oh, they're training, not really fighting, or this is not what's really happening. This is in her head. It's like, oh, well, now I get it.
Yeah, is she dreaming now or was she dreaming then?
Yes, exactly. That's
I don't know. Thinking back, I was thinking, man, the opening was pretty good, but it kind of.
Rue made a good point. The editing in the movie was kind of all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was.
sporadic.
I got really confused halfway through, and I was like, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Now that I see what you mean, some of her line delivery was just crap.
Flat.
It was really flat.
I mean, just crap in general. Like when she said "Let's fight," like
Mm-hmm.
that was just an awkward line in the first place. But the way that she delivered it, as if that's the expected phrase to say when you wake up from a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Let's fight.
What?
What?
That's how I felt with her acting in general throughout the movie. Her delivery of her lines, for the most part, felt like that for me. It was like
she didn't give anything any punch.
Yeah.
Nothing had any feeling behind it.
She did she seemed
did
like
this-
a very one-note character. She hit the banter was good,
Oh yeah, the banter and the
but
sarcasm
her
was great,
reactions
but
to any conflict or anything like that
anything major.
was weak at best.
Like when she
And
found
then it was I am strong woman at I said would worst. And I don't mean that in a bad. What I mean is like everything that she did was because she was a woman. It wasn't because she was a strong character, which is what I was kind of hoping. It'd be like, I'm strong enough to do this. It was because you're trying to keep me down kind of thing was the tone I got through the movie.
Yeah.
And I can't speak from a woman's perspective. I could not.
Well,
I can admit that, but
there were flashbacks where it was specifically said that when she was in the bar with the other pilots, like in the male pilot comes up.
The
goes,
cockpit.
Yeah, so they specifically...
That was stupid as hell. I don't care who you were. No, any dude that says that's an asshole anyway.
Yeah, but they inserted scenes to kind of...
keep it going. Direction. And then there was the go-kart wreck. You can't be in a cart. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like when we were kids at that age, we were all of us were driving carts.
That's one point I want to bring up. Is this was based in the 90s and but the flashbacks were later, like the 80s, maybe the 70s, depending on what year.
Fair enough. I didn't think about that.
So times were they might have been going for more of a time accurate dialogue with.
I don't know that they were that intense though.
I don't know.
The crap. The crap I hear that my parents got away with. Mom and dad.
My mom was doing karate.
I don't.
But
your mom comes from a mother who comes from a culture of that, where karate is just something you did as an exercise.
So you have to consider that the writers and the director of this were possibly assuming what the culture was like back then, and so
I'll give them that bone. Yeah. I'll give them that bone.
Here's the thing:
they tried.
Like we were talking about, like how she didn't like deliver any punches. Like when she found out that she was the one in the plane and she saw her photo, like no reaction, just this is a thing.
Wait, where?
Whenever she found out that
the
picture.
Yeah.
Oh, she
could have had a huge reaction to that, and she was just like, "Cool, that's like, me."
Holy crap! Look at that!
What the?
I don't know. It was weird. As a person who's never actually followed the comics, to me, if you consider it outside of if I ever knew Marvel in none of the universe, the movie was all right. I give it a solid 75. I would say it's a decent, what I would call sleeper. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, suck my dick. I remember that.
I never saw that.
G.I. Jane, yeah. He's like whooping her ass as part of the.
But like that part, that part I understand. But like, I don't know, like you were saying with the go karts. I don't know if they were that strict about girls doing.
I don't know.
Well, it could be a cultural thing too, because it doesn't really specify what region of the country she came from. Certain regions might have been more.
Yeah,
strict.
Particularly probably Bible belts were probably a lot more.
Yeah, they don't specify her origin.
I feel like she wouldn't have even been allowed. I don't know.
Well, by the ocean, there were a lot of oceans. Anyway,
I don't know. For a person who just didn't follow comics, I say it was a solid 75 movie. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
It was okay.
The CGI was amazing. The computer graphics, that stuff looked nice.
I started to feel like I was watching Star Wars for a while.
I was very.
There's a reason for that.
Star Wars
because of all the space.
It's the same mother company, you know. They have the same financing.
Oh God, Disney
use the same overlay. Yeah, we're gonna see that exact same scene in the Star Wars movie.
I thought it looked nice personally.
So that's where they got the idea for Leia to fly in space. Hey! They got it from this.
Hey. Yeah, I guess. The force flying.
I'm just trying to draw a connection there somewhere.
I'd never seen the force apply the Newton's third law. For reaction, there must be an equal and opposite reaction. So she's applying force on the ship,
but pulling herself towards it.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a force pull, not a force fly, I guess.
Rue's saying it's better. At least it was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't watch that one.
I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. I'm the minority here, and I've found this out harshly over the past week as I've read reviews or anything leading up to it. I enjoyed it.
I didn't watch
I particularly like his Hispanic friend. That the story tangents that dude goes off on are hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ant-Man and the Wasp, or the Ant-Man series in general, is supposed to be more of the comedic because Paul Rudd is a comedic actor. So these are supposed to be more of the comedic movies.
Yeah, goofy.
There's no...
there's some real hate for that movie. I don't know because again, it could be something that, like in Captain Marvel, it's not true to the source material.
Could be.
But I wouldn't know. So as an outsider going in, I'm kind of like, I like this. This is entertaining enough.
I thought it was passable. I thought it was good.
I didn't feel that it was things were being shoved in my throat. I kind of felt like Captain Marvel was an anthem more than it was a superhero movie. Some person I was watching said it best. It wasn't a superhero movie. It wasn't a superhero movie first. You know, superhero came after the message, and that I can get that feeling.
Yeah.
And I tried to go into it thinking otherwise, but I just couldn't help but feel like that theme was just being shoved down your throat. Like, apparently the little girl, name started with an M. What was it?
I'm bad with names. I don't remember her character's name.
Oh, I'm so terrible with names. I can barely remember.
But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the little girl is apparently a very well-known character later in the Marvel Universe. A strong character that had powers and was a hero before she met Carol Danvers in the comics. And I can see where people that watched the movie are upset by that. Not only did they move Mar-Vell from Mar-Vell, the first defeater of Thanos, allegedly, is what I hear, turned it into a Kree refugee that is supporting the Skrull, and then they try to endear you to the Skrull, which doesn't bother me because, again, as an outsider, I didn't know any better. I was kind of like, I like this. I love the banter between the Skrull guy and everyone else. The jokes were great.
While we're on that, I don't think it's that big of a deal because these guys are refugees, right? And just like humans, there are different sects and sexts, or
S-E-C-T, yes. Sex. I know what you mean.
And so just because these guys were refugees, that doesn't mean that as a whole that the Skrulls are assholes. We don't know. There's room to expand because just like
there's always, but I mean it's like the Kree calling themselves the noble people in this one. They acted so high and mighty. Even I caught you in the middle of the movie and I was like, are these the same Kree that are fucking with everybody during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and in all the other movies?
They're supposed to be.
They don't seem so noble and high now that they have such a force to go out and protect the universe. No, it seems like they more absorb societies and then... I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, from an outsider coming in without knowing all these missing pieces, it didn't bother me because there was nothing to offend me. But I see where people that care about the comics and the characters would be offended now.
Yeah.
Because you've taken characters that they grew up with and you've repurposed them intentionally.
I don't know who this is.
Oh, wait,
That's a new one to me too. Maybe you can inform us on Galactus.
That's why I was pointing at Bud.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know.
He is more of a Fantastic Four. I have to get this right. He's more of a Fantastic Four character. He is the destroyer of worlds. Like he's big. He's humongous. He eats worlds. He holds worlds in his hands and eats it. And Silver Surfer is like his he's scout pretty much.
That's
like
weird.
You will always see Silver Surfer before Galactus will show up.
Magneto's son.
Silver Surfer, the guy with the surfboard.
Who am I thinking of?
Quicksilver.
Ah.
Yeah, the name sounds yeah.
But Silver Surfer, I thought existed within the X-Men universe too. I mean, technically they all coexist, but
yeah, no.
But the
Silver Surfer is more Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four actually doesn't belong to any other universe yet. It was its own thing under Fox, was it not?
As far as I know.
Yeah, so then there's a chance that the Fantastic Four could join.
That would be something.
I was never a fan of it.
What?
Like The Thing. I mean, I'm a fan of Jessica Alba, but
I thought it was fun.
Disney's gonna own everything.
Yeah.
Disney's gonna
enjoy your Cartoon Network while you can. You're not gonna.
Disney already owns part of Fox. They sold all their movie rights, excepting I think a few shows and their newscasts. So yeah, I mean, the X-Men and Marvel universes could theoretically finally be one in the cinematic realm, which I think would be kind of hard to retrofit unless they introduce the X-Men as something new.
There's also Doctor Strange who can bring him in through his dimensionals or dimensional manipulation or some weird.
Yeah, but that would be
schlock.
weird. Like,
it would be.
He
weird.
doesn't merge universes though; he traverses them.
As at the point, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this current cycle. Like
Wolverine's gonna kill Thanos.
Dude, I would laugh.
I'm calling it here and now.
I would laugh like out of nowhere. Shlink.
Dead. Done.
Logan just shows up.
Old man Logan.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Isn't he the protector of time now?
I think there was something with like he had an Infinity Stone and he was doing something with it.
He's the protector of time now in the new comics, apparently. He's not dead, just he's avoiding everybody because he's been given a task to protect time, apparently. I read some weird spoiler about it. I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting, but completely unnecessary for me to know.
Like there is like a cap on my knowledge because like I haven't been keeping up for like the past like 5 years.
Well, we might have to dig into some funding to get you some comics.
Oh, I know. I can. Yeah.
I don't know anything about this universe at all. They talk about Zelda, Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, so
Final Fantasy, like I got that.
I guess
talking about comic books, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. I just watched the movies, and that does not explain anything.
well, no, because it all
it loosely ties together. Like, hey, it's that they mentioned that one guy from that other movie. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is in the comics too.
I think we got off the topic of Captain Marvel, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, returning to it, I didn't really. I felt like she was absolutely shoehorned into the universe. If the movie stood on its own as an intro movie, it was okay.
Yeah.
I can let the flaws go by. What I don't like is that they worked her in as the inspiration for the Avengers.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
I didn't like that at all. Like, and then how she shows up all indignant. I don't know if indignant's the right word. Almost pompously when she gets her page. Where's Fury?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, my problem with that is, how the fuck did she get in that facility without anybody noticing? Considering how she would have gotten in there.
She would have busted through. Yeah, she would have busted through the.
Where's Fury? You know, like there was none of that. She wouldn't have just like, oh, key card, let me in. Like, no.
Yeah, she would have blasting holes and other stuff.
That delivery of that line, yeah.
Totally
come in through the ceiling.
Yeah, she totally would have. Like that was
the blockbuster.
all silently sneaking in on her tiptoes.
Sneaky. Or maybe Goose ate her and then ran into the building.
I love the cat so much.
Yeah, he was. I have to admit, he was a runaway star of that movie.
He was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought Nick Fury was the star of that movie personally. Like, Carol was fine, but like Fury, I like Fury's character. He was fun, engaging, and a good balance for her inability to react to anything.
I just feel like they didn't.
He really was.
They didn't like build up to her character. Like they built up in the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really feel a connection with the character. Like I didn't feel like I really knew her like that well. Like
I mean, I connected with Iron Man because the dude like beaten down. You're like, man, he's stuck, and then he raises himself out of it. Or at least I can respect that character because of that.
To expand on that, with the whole editing thing, they kind of did it backwards because she already had her powers from the very beginning, so you already knew she was powerful.
Yeah.
So it's like your expectations were like, oh well, she already has everything. Like she's not. She doesn't have to learn.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
See, the only thing is, I understand like why they made it to where, like you didn't find out about where she got her powers from until later because it was doing that weird flip reversing where you're like, oh, the Kree aren't that bad. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But like at the same time, like I don't know, I feel like there's still a better way they could have done it and still gone that direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they could have just saved her, and then like that's all we would have known is that like got blown up. And I don't know. I'd have to think about it more of how they could do it, but just like the way they built up her character, there's just there wasn't. It felt like she was just kind of there.
And you remark on the fact that she just had her powers from the get go. I got that, and I was going through other reviews, kind of seeing like because I'm really, wanting to understand more about it. And I was reading, somebody was like, somebody brought up the point, like, how she just came into flying, like, just there. She can fly. Like, they talk about, if she'd have come into her powers, she could have been more relatable. Like, that's a kind of struggle to learn to fly instead of just, like, bam, it happens.
That's why she is more of a Mary Sue.
Here's the thing is, Farouk's saying that she won't get recast, but like she's already.
Oh, they won't recast. They've invested too much money
Oh
into
yeah.
her.
It really could have been the script and the material she was having to work with. It might not just
Maybe.
Maybe.
Her delivery shouldn't have anything to do with the script. I mean, there's no good way to deliver the line, do you want to fight after waking up after
honestly,
nightmare?
the script.
That's Ryan Gosling's line. Thank you very much.
Here's the thing: is the script probably wasn't that great to begin with.
They had 8 writers.
That doesn't matter.
Oh.
You can have 8 terrible writers.
I mean, writers. Well, I was reading through the Wikipedia.
Just because you have one idiot writing
were,
something, he's like, "Hey, this is good," and the other writer's like, "Yeah, that's real good. Like, let's do this."
No, what I mean is like they were all probably suggesting stuff, and apparently writers were moving in and out of the process as it went.
That's terrible.
That would actually explain a lot of the incoherent.
Like the script wasn't great. Like I said, her deliverance
that movie
wasn't
had
great.
ADD. Coming from someone who has ADD.
There's so many spots where she could have had like big emotional like breakthrough moments and it just never happened.
Mm-hmm.
She's too tough for it. That's the air that they give off with it. She's just too tough to have those emotional moments.
She did seem really flat.
It's like what?
Like personality wise, like now that you mentioned, she like had no emotion about anything. She reminded me of.
Well, she did. She had emotions when it was like that in between banter. She was good at that.
She reminded. That was the only thing.
That was it. That was her.
It.
She was her one trick pony.
She was like. I don't know.
And then I felt like the fights at the end were kind of pointless. Like when she unlocked her powers, why did they even bother fighting her if they knew how strong she was? They knew she was strong enough. They needed to limit her power.
Because they needed that Tesseract.
I get it, but I'd have understood as a person. I can't get that thing from her now.
Is that how?
The fleet ran away. Let's fight.
Is that how Captain Marvel actually got his power? Like the original Captain Marvel, like through the.
I think he was just powerful out from the get-go. My understanding, right?
Yes, that because they're born. If I'm not mistaken, they're born with it. And in the comics, there was a.
Carol Danvers did get hers that way, though.
There was a collision.
So wait, I'm so confused.
Her jet collided with him or something, and she absorbed some of his power, or there was a transfusion of some sort, if I'm not mistaken, and that's how she got her powers. Because for a long time, she was known as Miss Marvel before she adopted Captain Marvel's name after he died from cancer. So there's a whole thing.
Huh.
Like she took his name out of respect or homage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what Rudis said.
Okay,
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about the whole thing. So like, I'm just like, is that how it actually happened, or did they just like throwing that out there?
I think they took a little bit of liberty.
I'm like I said, I have no idea.
His DNA got mixed in with hers in an explosion.
I know nothing about this universe at all.
Yeah.
Except other than what the movies have given me, that's all I know.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where I come from. So I've been pulled into Marvel through the movies, and honestly, I just don't have. I have the time to read a comic book because I'll thumb through the comic book. Unlike other people, I have no appreciation for the art in the sense that I don't sit there and look at it very long.
Okay.
So that's why, like, when I read manga, anything like that, I thumb through that shit so fast. I'm like, I just spent $10 on something that took me 20 minutes to read.
You would be better off buying the volumes. The collection of...
Yeah.
Cheaper.
It's cheaper, plus it looks nicer on your shelf because you can put the volumes together.
It looks nicer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a collector.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would be the only way that I would probably feel I get my money's worth.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that the art's not worth the money. It's just that I don't look at the pictures that often,
Mm-hmm.
so I miss a lot of things. And I know that there are a lot of clues and details hidden within them.
Oh, yeah. They're good at
and I'm just too inattentive. I'm just like, gotta move on to the next story. Bit of the story. Gotta move.
Mm-hmm.
Got things to do. I don't know why I'm like that, but it has always prevented me from doing comics.
Mm.
I always felt unsatisfied when reading them. Not unsatisfied with the story, but unsatisfied with how much of the story I get. It felt like, okay, that was a bite.
Yeah.
No, I want a meal.
No, that makes sense. I can get that.
I don't have that kind of patience.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn it, but that's not easy.
Rue suggests to go watch the animated series.
Was that...
To get a basic idea.
Was this Disney?
I think it was actually Cartoon Network.
Was
or
it?
is it? No, I know they were definitely DC. But I've watched a few of the Marvel animated films. And I've enjoyed them.
Okay, I have to look that up. I haven't watched them.
Back when I had Netflix, but I don't have Netflix anymore, so.
Yeah, we canceled it.
We got a month free, though. I'm waiting for Stranger Things Season 3. Then I'll get back in it. Yeah, Stranger Things is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It was okay. Liked it. What?
It's probably one of the best things that come out of Netflix.
I don't know.
I don't know. Some of the animation that comes out of Netflix is pretty top notch. Some of it.
All I can think of is that meme with the Netflix adaptation. Like, it's got the original, like, the movie production. It's like Netflix adaptation. It's just awful.
Oh yes, I love those. Oh my god.
The meme where it's got like it's like the original, and then it's
yeah.
like,
I
and then
know
it's
what
like
you're talking about.
like a remake or the sequel, and then it's like Netflix adaptation.
Yeah.
Felix is Shrek.
Yeah. They're ruining Disney movies with these live action ones. Because they consider the Lion King live action. It's all CG, man.
No,
it's not live action. It's not
Well,
live
I don't-
action. It's not live action.
Yeah,
Yeah, this. Yeah, the manga anime, the Netflix adaptation.
That one's good too. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, wow. That's JoJo. That is so wrong. Man. Yeah, we're just gonna... That could easily go downhill strolling through that.
Yeah. Well, as all memes do. You find a funny one and then you keep searching. It's like, oh,
This water's getting dark. I can't see the bottom anymore.
Those movies, that show is Disney.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I will look that up.
Well,
2010 to
52 episodes,
2013.
actually not that bad.
No, it's not.
About an episode a day. Or a binge-watched weekend.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How I normally do things. It's just turn them on and run it in the background. I don't know. I'd say from an outsider, you're not going to be hurt by this movie.
No.
If you're invested in the comics, it's probably going to offend you. If you are invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's going to bother you because it completely shoehorns her character into it, and it makes it seem like she is the end-all, be-all for Endgame.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me.
Like,
Where was she when they were destroying New York?
the whole Tesseract.
Yeah.
No. Where she was during that, she was up in space with the scrolls.
But what about when Ultron was about to destroy the world?
With the scrolls.
But he had a pager.
He knew his team that he had assembled could handle it. That's why he didn't call upon her.
I don't know about that.
They obviously did fine. Besides all those people getting killed, you know.
Yeah, that's where the Soviet Accords comes from because they couldn't save everybody from that building.
So she would have solved that whole. Oh, we don't need the Accords because they wouldn't have existed because she was here.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Because he always pitched in the cinematic series, he pitched the Avengers as a deterrent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Well, if she were there, nobody would be messing with
it. It
them.
would have been a zap. Oh, look, Ultron's gone. He's melted.
He's gone.
It wouldn't even have been that. It'd just been like they wouldn't have ever shown up.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kree certainly didn't come back. At least not until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and some of the movies.
Yeah. Well,
but they knew better when she was around.
Well, you have to consider this that they didn't know the Avengers was going to work. So they didn't have all these Easter eggs. Oh, there's going to be Captain Marvel 10 years from now, you know? So, like, I give them a little
Dude,
leeway.
they had, like, 12 movies planned out.
Not her.
Oh, no, not her.
So, like, I give them leeway. The only thing I don't give leeway is the whole Tesseract thing. That doesn't make any sense. That feels more shoehorned to me.
And naming the Avengers after her.
And that. It's like...
And the fact that she's necessary to beat Thanos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, where did the Tesseract come from?
How did Marvel get it from Tony Stark?
Yeah, like what the hell? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm so confused.
The Tesseract goes from the Red Skull to Tony Stark, somehow to Marvel,
back,
and then it gets puked onto Fury's desk.
Yeah.
At which point it goes into a nice briefcase that caused Marvel a nice chunk of money when they released their limited edition.
So it's like they didn't explain. So is there some connection between Stark or the father Stark and Marvel? like there's some meeting up of
Oh
mind.
yeah.
Like it's like some meeting of minds. Like, oh, I have this powerful source. Well, can I borrow that? And then never gives it back.
I'm an alien.
well, he didn't know, but yeah.
Well, Stark found it by measuring energy signatures in the ocean, didn't he? Did he not?
Oh,
so if he found it by measuring energy signatures, how the hell did the Kree not notice it floating in space or the scroll?
I don't know.
It's like that was a funny gag. This your science guy? Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Okay, so him and Fury pretty much saved that movie, I think, like with the joking.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't feel like it was such a serious tone from her end. It felt like out of place. It was such a discombobulation of things going on. Each writer was writing one character.
Read the comments, guys.
Oh,
Ultron can still be back. Yeah, he can. I was actually stoked for the Inhumans movie that was supposed to be out in 2016. I was actually stoked after watching, because I don't know much about it. So Inhumans for me was what's that series? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? I was stoked to see that go to a movie, and then they canceled it. I was like, that kind of
why did they cancel
bites ass. I'm not sure.
I knew at one time, but then I just kind of lost interest in the whole thing. But
okay, Marvel and the military scientists assigned to work on it. Okay,
yeah, that does make sense with the Marvel. But with what you're going with, I like Black Bolt as a character too.
Which one was Black Bolt?
They got in the show. He doesn't wear a mask, but he's a guy in the black suit. Never talks. When he speaks, it's his sonic. It's like sonic speak. Sonic waves come out, destroys everything. Just by a whisper. So he's always silent and stoic, which I liked about him because it's all portrayed with his emotions on his face. With what he was trying to get across was
couldn't learn sign language.
You shock. But yeah,
I learned a little bit.
Off.
Yeah, because I'm the ruler of this floating city. Fuck you. But yeah, anyway.
I don't know. I just felt it was far too shoehorned in. If it were a standalone introduction, it'd be fine. But like to retcon everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I know, seems silly.
Yeah.
If it were a cry for help more than it were a last resort, I don't think I would be as butthurt, and I can say that I'm butthurt about it, you know? Because I like the heroes that I've spent the last 10 years watching and come about. Except for Quinn. He kind of pisses me off right now.
Who?
He's the reason Thanos was able to do what he did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. I think I would have thoroughly enjoyed this movie if it wasn't for the actress. Like,
it's possible.
Yeah, like I could have put up with all of it. Like, yeah, they have the retcon here and there, which makes sense because this is so many years.
Slightly better writing.
Well, yeah.
Like I feel like they just, I don't know. I don't feel like it was maybe all her fault. Like I know it's not all her fault, but like,
yeah.
The tanking at the box office is
the deliverance that she did give, like the lines that she did have wasn't enough. But the writers also didn't write in very many of those moments, which is stupid on their part.
You have to consider with Endgame, completely different team running the show to where she could just shine.
Allegedly, the directors didn't want her in Endgame.
Why?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I've been reading about it, and allegedly the directors of Endgame didn't want her there. Like, not out of, like, I don't want you there, but they had a vision for the movie.
And they just wrote
and
her.
she was added in after the first one.
What were we guys talking about retconning?
Well, it's not necessarily. It's like offhanded retcon how the Tesseract came about, and the Avengers name wasn't really retcon, but the way it was explained really didn't.
It was because of her nickname Avenger.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
I don't know. It seems unnecessary to put that there, personally. Was Marvel, or was she the original inspiration for the Avengers in the comics? I thought she came after the Avengers.
That's my understanding.
Yeah, so
I don't know. It doesn't really. I don't know.
It bugs me. It's just kind of like, it's weird. because it makes her all important. And that-
You're probably right.
It can be.
You're probably right.
I mean, people are
Yeah.
free to disagree with me. I feel like it was just unnecessary. It didn't need it. Personally.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already made it look as though she's what's necessary to get to the end. So
I don't know. It was
I don't know.
it was an entertaining movie for what it was.
No, that wasn't bad. That just
The way I put it, I view it as like a really good B movie.
I sit at my solid
'Cause, like not
75.
every Marvel movie is going to be like
oh no, it's not.
Not everyone's
but-
going to be a hit. Not everything's going to be something I like.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't screw Endgame up, I'll be happy.
I don't
I don't know that it will. I'm not going to believe it will. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to be like, I believe Avengers Endgame will be good.
She hasn't been as far as I know, she hasn't been in any of the trailers.
She's in it.
Oh, I need to go watch.
No, not in the trailers, but she's in it.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is she's not in the trailers. Is that because of the marketing? Because they didn't want to put her in the trailer before this movie came out? Or is it she has such a little part she's not really in the end game?
That'd be weird for that build up to be give her no part.
I don't know.
I don't think she I don't believe
just-
that she has no place in Endgame at all. I think that she should be fighting along them, but the way they show her powers, it seems like she's not going to need much help at all.
You know, her durability, she could take a punch from Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently she was lucky enough to survive the snap. You think Thanos, like when he did that, might have been thinking, when I want half these people gone, I need anybody
Yeah.
strong enough to stand up to me to go away.
Yeah, but he did it completely random.
Oh, I know.
So
But I just think it'd be like, somebody could reverse this. I should make sure nobody can challenge me.
yeah, you would think he would have targeted everybody who had current contact with. Oh, Tony Stark, and then all you guys who are trying to fight me, you guys are gone.
You guys almost took my glove away.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want that happening.
Gone.
Yeah.
Deleted.
That's what I would do if I had that power. I would create a deletion button for anybody who opposed me. With just, you're gone. But that's too much power. You can't have that.
I think it'd be funny.
Well, yeah, we have her little.
Like a little mini sode about it. He's gone.
You could call it.
He's gone.
Call it the what ifs.
Yeah.
What if this happened?
I don't know. Again, I say it's a solid B movie. If you want to see like things that happened in the earlier universe, it's pretty neat to see.
It's one of those movies I don't know if I'd go pay to see again though.
I'd go on a $5
Well,
Tuesday.
so going off this, it looks like it has made profit.
It's tracking to, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I mean,
It was 150 million in production last I checked.
so
It could be
so
off
it's
a little
not
bit.
so it's not a failure. So
No.
I mean, it's not.
I don't
in
anticipate it to be
in
a failure.
technic-
Like I said, it's a solid. I'd say solid 75 movie. I don't anticipate it to be a failure.
Well, I think some people were saying like, "Oh,
Well,
it's
people wanted it to be a failure. I don't want it to be a
the thing
failure.
is people wanted it to fail.
I wanted it to
Yeah.
be good. I don't know. I'm torn about on it, but I enjoyed it more than I disliked it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Just like any other movie. I mean, everyone had their grievances.
I'm pretty
about
easy
it.
to please with a movie, though. I'll gripe about many
Is it
things in
getting
a movie,
review
but I'm
bombed
pretty.
on Rotten
Oh, yeah.
Tomatoes?
Oh yeah,
I thought that it was like a I thought it had like a 78 or something.
81 as far as critics are concerned, but it was like at 32%.
With
last I
like
checked.
like with fans.
Yeah, they removed like 50,000 reviews yesterday, and it was still
Why?
sitting around 30%. Yeah, people are review bombing it for no reason. I don't think that's appropriate. I mean, if you don't like it, it's fine to say that. But
wasn't
people
that-
are getting it. There are more people that have reviewed it than it seems than ticket sales reflect.
So people are just preemptively
Yes,
okay.
They're just they're
I think that's absolutely inappropriate because that's
They're
the whole
dropping the
point
axe
of a review
before-
system
Mhm.
is to say that. And apparently a lot of these reviews are nothing more than it's crap, it sucks.
Oh, another thing, we saw it in 3D, and
3D was good.
Oh, 3D was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it all worked. Like nothing. It didn't seem like they made they didn't make the movie around the 3D. Like all the effects, seemed,
Worked well.
Oh, the fish, like when they're in the ocean, that worked pretty well for me. And that's like I haven't seen a 3D movie in like years, so seeing this one was.
Yeah, I was worried because normally I get
cool.
that little double vision.
Yeah.
But that was smooth as butter.
Oh,
That was something else. Is like her. That's something else they probably could have expanded on a little more. Like her, like that team that she was with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that they could have made it to where like finding out that they were betraying her in the end was just way more. It just felt really.
I felt she should have been more pissed about the betrayal.
Yeah. There wasn't like.
That's what I mean. Like that's what I was kind of saying earlier. With like with the.
Though, as I
That's
think,
not-
it's very hard to portray that as well. The way the scenes were written.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
If I'm thinking from a cinematic perspective, the way the director wanted those shots, it's kind of hard to do that. Like she's in a house with people she knows. What's she gonna do? Get pissed and blow the house up? Yeah, she could.
They could have written other lines.
Bye Fury and all friends.
They could have written in something extra and taken out other things to drive those points home and given her character some more depth for the people who don't know about the comics. That's what I mean. Like her character just felt like I enjoyed the movie. It's just like her actual character just. I don't know. It just felt like there was nothing behind it, really.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, like everything. Like it's like Steven was saying earlier. Like everything just kind of seemed like a joke, sorta. Like she always had those really quippy, comebacks. It's like that was
Like,
fine, but
one-
like it seemed like every other line that came out was a quippy
Like,
snap.
One of my favorite moments was in the beginning when she's trying to get out of the ship, and that one of the scrolls like opens its mouth and yells out, "Ah!" and she does it back at him.
Oh yeah,
I found that was like,
Wait,
what the?
what? Where was it?
It's like she's trying to get out of the ship, and one of the guys like yelled.
Oh, that was weird.
I thought that was funny. I was
I
like, what?
liked it, but it was weird.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Made me think of what's his name in the Mummy, Brandon Fraser, when they yelled at him and he goes, "Ah!"
Exactly. That's why it's so funny. It's like I wasn't expecting that, and it's just.
That seemed like a spontaneous thing. I like I don't know, but it was still more animated than some of the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh. It's awful. I don't like it. Like I don't mind the characters having those little quips every now and again. Like if that's how their character is.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. But I was like, I don't want the whole movie to be that. I don't. I need serious moments. I need actual. I need emotion. I need
Either
something
that or
other
make
than
the movie a comedy.
Yeah, that's what it makes it feel like, and then it feels like it feels
There
like
were
a giant
disagreements
joke.
about Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I liked it because of the goofy comedy.
Well, if I'm not
The aloofness.
if I'm not mistaken,
Wasn't that kind of the point of that movie?
Not
No.
necessarily.
Well then,
because Ant-Man
then
was
that's-
actually Hank Pym, wasn't it?
well then that's stupid.
And they touch on that in the movies, but
I like how they handled that because he's like old and he's
they
retired.
at least address that.
Well, yeah, he's retired, so now he has a protege or whatever he is.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I was
I'll
like,
have
oh,
to go watch it.
I was like, that's interesting. I like that.
Ant-Man survives,
Like
though.
like they changed it, but in a way to where it's cohesive.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to go watch it, I guess. But
What?
Ant-Man, I'm not seeing.
Oh,
it.
we have both of them.
No,
They're great.
not seeing.
Well,
them, though.
I enjoy it.
Oh, have you guys seen Super Troopers 2?
No.
That-
I keep looking up at the shelf and going, I still have that. I need to watch it. I'm probably going to do it this weekend.
We can
watch it this
we
weekend.
can talk about that next weekend, I guess, or whenever.
We could, yeah.
Because there's some good stuff in that.
We could.
There's some good butter.
What? What?
I don't know. It's a good movie. You gotta watch it.
I don't know. We'll just have to
That
watch
makes
it
me
and
not
figure
want
it
to
out.
watch it.
Fine, whatever.
I'm gonna get on.
I'll take it back and enjoy it myself.
Do it. Do it.
No, I'm going to watch it, you dick.
Let's take it and throw it out the window. Oh.
It was hard to come by.
Was it?
Yeah, I had to get out of my house.
Oh,
I had to
no.
drive to Best Buy.
World's
and,
smallest violin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Ant-Man and Wasp coming out after Infinity War. Yeah, having all
a
these
silly
movies in
movie.
between in Infinity War. I don't. Yeah, I've read that and I kind of agree. Like, I dissociate things so easily that it doesn't necessarily. But when somebody points it out, I'm kind of like, yeah, I can see that. I can see where like putting these things in between the biggest cliffhanger in the entire cinematic universe can be a little bit.
Well,
Why?
I understand why. It's because it could have left the ending of that could have left such a bad taste in people's mouth with how dreary it was that they wanted to put a little bit of filler in between the two movies so that way it's a little bit of a palate
I
cleanser.
trust Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, no, but it's like a palate cleanser. So like
We're going into the end game now.
It's ginger.
What?
When you eat sushi, you eat ginger for it's a
Oh,
palate
yeah.
cleanser.
Oh yeah, sorry.
What the hell? What the hell? Are you thinking about?
I was like, red hair? Who are you talking about? Sorry, but yeah, like a palate, yeah. Those two movies were the ginger of the Marvel universe.
They were the ginger kids.
That's good.
Oh,
Good.
Two-tone joke there. Oh, what's this?
And one of them's getting whipped. I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke out of it.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was an okay movie though.
Yeah.
It was okay. I apparently need to go watch the Ant-Man and see how bad that one is.
How bad that
Yeah.
was. Like,
I need to have
let me
my
see
own-
how bad
I
this
need to
is.
have my own opinion. If it's nothing but jokes and quips, I'm not gonna like it. If that's
I
all
could
it
have sworn
is,
you've seen Ant-Man.
I have not.
Oh,
I fell asleep on the couch while you were watching it.
makes sense.
That's my general spot. I'm like a cat. I'll fall asleep on the couch. Just
Yeah, gotta kick your ass off the couch. But go to bed.
Why can't you just sleep on the couch?
Doesn't let me.
Bad for your back.
It's cushy and
She.
comfortable.
Well, my couch is not very cushy. It's like, this couch is almost 18 years old.
We need to throw
That's why you sleep with it.
We got. Whoa.
Anyway.
We need to throw that couch out and get a new couch. That's like
Anyway,
Oh, that's
yeah.
no domestic talk. No domestic.
it's happening.
So I'm just gonna
Stop
drop
it.
final thoughts. My final thoughts on that.
Mhm.
I'd say it's solid B or C movie.
I think it's
Go
worth
see
going
it.
to watch.
It's definitely
yeah.
worth going to watch at least once.
I said I
And
don't know if I pay for it again, but
like I
I
said,
would
I'd go on a
definitely-
$5 Tuesday again.
If you really don't want to pay to go see it, wait till it's on Netflix and give it a try just to see if it works
I
for you.
don't think it's coming to Netflix because of Disney Plus coming out. I think it's the first one to be skipping Netflix.
You might be right about that. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to pick up Disney Plus now,
So you are gonna be paying for it.
inadvertently.
Mm.
I don't know. So I'd say go see it once. Definitely worth seeing. I mean, it doesn't ruin anything.
no.
It doesn't make anything worse. I mean, there were movies in the Marvel universe. I mean, I hear Hulk is not a good one. I've yet to see that one.
The one with Edward Norton.
Yeah.
It
I
tries.
say I hear it.
It tried.
It tries. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of movies try.
I mean, the little engine that could tries.
but it eventually accomplishes its
I haven't
mission.
watched Aquaman either,
it
but
dies.
honestly, that one did look really stupid.
Which one?
Aquaman has
Wait, oh.
nothing to do with Marvel, but
I
I hear
know.
Aquaman.
But we mentioned much better. It's much better than Aquaman. That's why I'm reading the comments.
Yeah.
That movie honestly
But I think
looked
I don't.
terrible.
Am I a bad person to say I don't think Aquaman even stood a chance in the first place?
He talks. Fish.
I'm like,
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
it's been a running gag
So
forever.
Talk to them like they're pigs.
I mean, like the dude's powerful enough to wipe out humanity with a tidal wave,
Just
but
imagine him with like a.
No, he couldn't.
apparently he can cause tsunamis.
No, but listen.
So if he can wipe
Does
out
he cause
humanity,
them or do the
there's-
fish
you-
cause them?
I don't know.
I don't. He could not make a tsunami big enough to cover the entire United States in one go.
No, not in one go.
It-
10 years later.
he could not reach our area with a tidal wave that would reach us.
It's not like we could reach his either.
I don't know what I'm saying. It's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, he can wipe out humanity. No, he can't.
Okay, so he can do a lot of damage.
Yes.
Like, so he's got power. It's just he's limited to where. How can he use that to fight a villain? You're gonna wipe out the cities on the coast to take one guy out?
He has to keep a container or a camelback full of water. So
He's
he
a
can,
Now you make it sound
waterbender.
like Avatar.
Yeah, he's a
The
waterbender.
Last Airbender.
I'm probably warping his powers, aren't I?
Probably. I don't think he does that.
Sorry.
You have to hope whatever he's fighting the Wicked Witch of the West, and him just making it rain is gonna solve the problem.
Or a guy,
I'm melting.
wearing like armor. I want to make you rust.
In about 5 years, you're not gonna be able to move.
Just stand there.
10?
Hmm?
10?
Yeah, I gotta leave here in a minute.
Okay. Well, actually, this conversation lasted a lot longer than we intended.
Well,
I guess.
we that's how we normally do. We branch off into other topics
Yes,
as
that's
we
why.
talk.
That's why I'm
It's our
never really.
ADD.
I'm never really worried.
That's when you're before the show we were trying
Contingency plans,
We were
friends.
No, I get it, but I'm just like
We need our own Captain Marvel. Contingency plan.
We should keep it on. Oh, we should do that. Like write like stuff down in an envelope and keep it down there to wherever there's like dead air. We're just like, oh, contingency plan. pull one out.
Make that a gag. We've run out of things, guys, so we're gonna
Yes.
pull one out of our
Yes.
contingency
Actually,
pocket.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. I like this a
Yeah.
lot.
If you have suggestions,
We were actually
let
talking
us
about
know.
we were actually talking about something like that at I was talking about that at some work. What movie was it? We were talking about some movie we were watching, and it feels like the way that they handled the plot was an absolute contingency plan because it didn't fit any of the rest of the movie. I can't remember what movie they were talking
I don't
about.
quit slapping the table. You're
Trying
shaking
to
the
slap Bud in the face with his mic.
It's-
It ain't working.
Can we just slap him for you?
No, it's
haven't-
not as comedic.
I don't know. We just like him watching his microphone.
It's like
waiting
a
for it to
Rube
slap him.
Goldberg slap.
Bam.
I've been behaving. I mispronounced a couple words, but I've been behaving. I've been good. Leave me alone.
I've been good, mommy.
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 Oh jeez. Well, yeah. I'm
That's.
gonna have to.
I guess. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it for our morning things now. We might be on here in a little while to do some streaming. Well, I might. So if you wanna keep an eye out, you might see that go live. I'm working on a big project for our Monday streams. I
Yeah.
finally got a lot of the equipment in, and I
Yeah.
got to do some testing because it's giving me
Yeah.
trouble. But I hope to have something really cool to show you guys soon.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of older games, I won't say retro. Let's say between 64 and Xbox 360.
Would that be classics?
What? Yeah, probably classic
Classic.
at that point. Not
Okay.
quite retro. But if you anything between the 2000s and 2006, I got something coming out of that era that's going to be pretty awesome. So I hope you guys will keep an eye out for that announcement. I'm trying to work on using Twitter. I'm not used to it, so I'm getting there. So do follow us if you enjoy what you see. Do follow this.
And I might start with the Instagram soon.
Yes,
if we
he
get
will
that.
be. He's gonna be running our Instagram, so we'll get that all set up and
Yep.
going. So just as these links come available, follow us if you want to get announcements, updates, things like that. We will be having a YouTube channel eventually set up where we will, at a 24-hour mark, be uploading these videos to YouTube, so you can watch them at your will. If you have the YouTube Plus, you can download it. But that is also where I'll be showing a behind the scenes for this project that I'm doing. I'm recording everything I do as I get it set up, and we're gonna put it up there so you can see it all be done.
That's a good question. What's the retro cutoff age? Your games are old enough to drink.
That's
Yeah, that's a fair one.
I
I think that's a fair one. That's
I like it.
also I don't like saying that Nintendo 64 is retro. That makes me sad.
All right. Well, I've got a skedoodle.
Just that idea.
Skedaddle, scoodle.
Skedaddle.
Time to get
We
to work.
appreciate you joining
Wait,
us, guys.
shit, it didn't rhyme.
Have a good one.
You were
Again, I see you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Take care. Oh no, my transition.
Are you still recording?
Oh yes, we are.